Hi everyone, welcome to week 10 of your Advanced Computers 1 course. We are finishing up chapter 4 this week. We started that last week looking at some of the different options that we have for preparing a research paper. And so this week we're going to go on and look at the actual reviewing portion of a research paper. So this is all about the different ways to track any changes you might make, how to add comments and things like that to your document. The one thing that I really like about this is, this is especially good when you're working with more than one person on a paper, or when you're submitting a paper to, maybe you're submitting it to an instructor for them to review and then return to you with information about how to, make changes and things like that. So that's what you're going to learn about this week, is those different techniques. Learning how to track changes, learning how to put comments, learning how to view those comments, how to reply to those comments, all of those types of things. And then a lot of times these, when you're doing something like this, a project where you're working with others, you're going to want to have a place, a repository, so to speak, of where you can put the document that everyone has access to. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. We have team sites where I work, where we can all access the different documents and we can make changes to it and things like that. And it's a specific drive that we can all get to on a network. But then there's also what they're going to talk about in this chapter, which is a SkyDrive. So a SkyDrive is basically a cloud. That's what they're referring to here. So obviously when you think about a cloud or iCloud, it's an Apple product. So this is what we're talking about when we're trying to not talk about a specific product. So a SkyDrive is just another name for an iCloud. So it's going to talk to you about how to do that, how to share those documents within that. And then it's going to also go on and look at how to share in some different types of social network, whether that be Twitter or, Google Plus, things like that. So those are the different things you're going to look at as we wrap up this week's chapter. The other thing that I want you to make sure that you do this week, in addition to finishing up chapter 4, is to go back and look at the previous chapters. So go back and look at chapter 3, which we covered in weeks 7 and 8, and then look at chapter 2, which we covered in weeks 5 and 6. So those 3 chapters, 2, 3, and 4, are what you're going to find on this week's final exam. So keep in mind, your final exam, you're going to have more time to complete it. It will have 50 questions, and you'll want to make sure that you complete it by next Thursday. So make sure you're watching your calendar. When Thursday ends, I have to post grades on Friday. So you have to have everything completed by Thursday night. So there can't be any delay in that. If you're going to need additional time, you have to reach out to me beforehand so that I can make arrangements for, reopening things and things like that. Because once Thursday night hits, you won't be able to see anything. Everything will be gone. So it's very, very important that you communicate with me. The other thing I wanted to remind you of is that at the end of this week, as you're wrapping everything up, don't just take your final exam and say, oh, cool, I'm done. Go back and look. See if there's anything that you forgot to do, anything that's missing. Look at your grades. See if there's a 0 anywhere or a blank. See if there's something that you can still complete and turn in. Remember, everything counts towards that final grade. And in addition, if you find that your grade's not quite where you want it to be, reach out to me. Let's discuss it. Sometimes I'm able to reopen a quiz or a test or even an assignment and have you redo things so we can get to the point where you really want to be. So we can definitely discuss that. It's not an automatic, but we do want to talk about it if that's something that you might be interested in. So in the meantime, keep this in mind. This is the last week, so now's the time to do all that cleanup. Reach out to me with any problems or questions that you have, and make sure that you do that before Thursday. And have a great week.